In a world that's changing faster than ever, how do you actually build success that lasts? Is it really about just working harder? Or is there, maybe, a secret playbook for sustained growth? Well, today we're diving right into that playbook, and trust me, the answer might just surprise you. Okay, let's start with a quote that I'm sure you've heard before. We're always told to just work harder or put in more hours. But really think about it. If you're just doing the same things over and over again, pushing that same pedal to the floor, are you really getting anywhere new? Or are you just getting tired? And that brings us to the big question for today's explainer. What if the key to unlocking real, sustainable growth isn't about the sheer volume of our effort at all, but about the quality of our knowledge? What if it's about learning smarter, not just working harder? All right, so let's dig into this idea, starting with what I truly believe is the ultimate asset in any career. And spoiler alert, it's not your bank account and it's not your job title. It's something way more permanent. There's this powerful ancient story about two different kinds of wealth. First, there's material wealth, which, let's be honest, can be lost or taken away in a heartbeat. But then there's knowledge wealth, and that is the one asset that is truly permanent. Nobody can ever take it from you. And the craziest part, it actually grows the more you share it with others. And look, this isn't just some ancient wisdom. In today's world, investing in knowledge is more urgent than it has ever been. What you're looking at right here, according to IBM, this is the new half-life of a professional skill. That means a skill you master today could be half as valuable in just a couple of years. The clock is absolutely ticking. So, if we know the clock is ticking on our skills, why on earth do so many of us just stop learning? It's a really critical question. So let's take a look at the common barriers that seem to get in all of our way. I mean, come on. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm just way too busy. Or my personal favorite, I'll get to it when things finally settle down. But here's the thing. These aren't just excuses. They're often symptoms of a deeper mindset that keeps us stuck. They're the stories we tell ourselves to feel okay about standing still. And this quote, this one just hits the nail on the head. Our entire culture champions the grind, right? We're taught to work hard to grow, but we're almost never taught to think to grow. So we end up confusing being busy with making progress, basically just running faster and faster on a hamster wheel that isn't actually taking us anywhere. But it really doesn't have to be that way. I want to show you an incredible, real-world blueprint for growth from someone who completely shattered this cycle. It's pretty amazing. I want you to meet Sumesh. He's an IT professional with over 3 decades of experience. So a busy leader, right? Now, how many online courses do you think a guy like him has actually completed? 10? 20 maybe? Get this, 352. I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it? So what's his big secret? Well, in his own words, it's this simple. Time for learning isn't found, it's made. He knew he had to intentionally, purposefully carve out the time, not just sit around waiting for some perfect moment that, let's face it, was never going to come. Okay, so here's his masterstroke. This is where it gets really clever. Sumesh had this grueling 4-hour commute every single day. Most people would see that as lost time, right? A total drag. But he created what he calls his commute MBA. His process was so simple. He found pockets of dead time, loaded up his phone with content, and used all that travel time to learn. He literally turned his biggest daily frustration into his most powerful learning tool. But look, his strategy wasn't just some clever time management hack. It was a whole mindset, and it was built on these 4 pillars. Having the discipline to just start, the consistency to make it a real habit, the patience to understand that real growth takes time, and maybe most importantly, the passion to learn about things you're genuinely curious about. Okay, so that's super inspiring, right? But how can you take that inspiration and actually turn it into action for yourself? Well, let's get practical and build your very own personal development plan. I get it. It can feel totally overwhelming to think about everything you could possibly learn. It feels like boiling the ocean. So the question is, where do you even begin? The answer is with a simple, manageable plan. Here is a simple but incredibly powerful framework. For this next year, just pick 3 things. That's it, just 3. First, one technical skill that'll make you better at your core job. Second, one soft skill to make you a better teammate, a better leader. And third, one personal passion, something you learn just for the joy of it, to keep that curiosity alive and stop you from burning out. That's the whole plan. Simple, focused growth. And please, remember this. The goal isn't to create the world's most perfect plan on day one. A simple plan that you actually start is infinitely better than some perfect plan that just sits on your hard drive forever. So just get started. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one last question to kickstart your plan. Take a second and really, really think about it. What is the one skill, whether it's technical, soft, or something else, that if you truly mastered it, would fundamentally change everything for your career and for your life? Whatever that is, start there.